Mhm. Though you may not drive a great big Cadillac, diamond in the back, sunroof top, digging the scene with the gangster white walls, TV antenna in the back. You may not have a car at all, but remember, brothers and sisters, you can still stand tall. Just be thankful for what you got, although you may not drive. Good morning, people. Yes, yes, yes. Haters, come on in. The haters come in. I know y'all lovely darlings are here for good stuff. But the haters, they're going to come in and say, oh, where's your car? Ooh, you jealous. Ooh, why you hating? Ooh, everybody got a nice car. Ooh, why shouldn't he have a car? He had 5 jobs. Girl. Darling, when you're dealing with Sister J.Wilson, this is a person who took such issue with Brianna buying herself a Mercedes-Benz. He took great issue and made several videos about Babe, our Fine Monster, however you call her. She got herself a new, what she get, a BMW or something? He didn't say nothing about Spielberg's new car because he don't dare. But the issue is he got something to say about everybody's situation with their driving, with their homes, with their house, with their clothes, with their moving to New York City, with their moving to, let me close that out, get rid of the strike. Hey, that's better. J.Wilson comments on everybody's everything, right? So what makes him exempt? J.Wilson, you bought yourself a new Volvo today. What happened? You said you kept what they call the stinking Lincoln. I have never seen the car. I don't know what it is. People have criticized you for you shouldn't have such an old car. You're supposed to be so grand, right? So I guess the first thing your plan was when you got this job was to buy yourself a new car. So you get a job, and 2 months later, now you're driving this new car, right? So how much did they offer you for the Lincoln? I didn't hear that. Give it to me again. $100. Oh, nigga. Well, that would explain why you kept it, girl. It's cheaper to keep. Gonna cost you too much to leave it alone. Cheaper to keep her, cheaper to keep her, cheaper to keep her. Except for that insurance, it's now double. Insurance is double. You still got to insure the cars, right? You got to put gas in both of them. Although I don't know if you're going to actually use both of these cars. My idea is he took the Lincoln in to trade it in, right? And the offer was so low and pathetic and so pitiful that he said, "Oh no, I paid this much for that Lincoln. Oh, that Lincoln's a good car. I'd rather give it away than give it." They said, "Well, sir, you can take your stinking Lincoln, right? And we'll just do the deal without it." Because we're not giving you no more than $500 for that car, girl. He placed value on it because it belonged to him, right? Anyway, so J.Wilson Terry got 2 cars, double car notes, double maintenance. We assume that the Lincoln is now having issues. Otherwise, he wouldn't feel like he needed a new car. If the stinking Lincoln was really not having issues, he wouldn't have went out and bought himself a new car, this new Volvo, right? So yeah, Volvo's a pretty decent car. He looks like a Volvo driver. He's a total square. So yeah, he wouldn't look good in a Mercedes or BMW or Ferrari, anything. He would look good in a Volvo to pull up into his family house, family garage, in his family house in the suburbs of Texas, right? It all seems to go together. He is a total square. But we wouldn't criticize somebody because they bought themselves a car. I mean, a car is a thing where you got to trade it in every 4 years, right? I mean, ideally, you trade the car in every 4 years, right? So he's way past due. It's a normal thing, except for who we're dealing with here. We're dealing with J.Wilson, who has something to say about everything a person purchases with their own money. He's always ready to make comments and give negative commentary on it, to find a negative angle to whatever they get, right? He wants to make fun of Rico because Rico is moving to New York City. Rico is a young man. He can do whatever he wants to do, honey. If Rico can go to New York City, if he can get the kind of benefits that I've received for years and years, so it's not unrealistic to expect that he could do those sort of things, right? Some things you just can't discuss with other people. They won't understand because they don't get it like that. They don't understand why you're getting this, why you're getting that. But yet they don't want the disease that you have, right? They don't want any of the burden. They just want the benefit, and they don't want you to have shit, right? So instead of encouraging this young man, of course, he's there to criticize everything he does with his life, right? So no, we're not being nice and gentle with no goddamn J. Wilson of all people on the internet, honey. No, we want to know, J. Wilson, since you have not been able to keep a job, certainly not in the last 4 or 5 years. We've seen that, girl. You've been through what, 6, 7 of them. You can't keep a job. Now you got 5 jobs, 5 part-time jobs. And what makes you think you're going to be able to keep them when you've never been able to keep them before? So now you got the expenses associated with this house that you don't need. And you got this old Lincoln that still got to pay insurance on it, right? You still got to put gas in it. And my guess is would be quite a bit of maintenance on it. It was an older Lincoln Continental. And now you're taking on a new car, which means a new car note, which means a new insurance. That insurance can be a kicker when you have 2 vehicles. I mean, I don't know why a single person, first of all, would need this big suburban house in the suburbs of Texas. But then why you need 2 cars for? Right? So we have to assume that he went in there with the idea of trading the car in. They didn't want it. We'll give you a little change, whatever. The smart car dealer will make you feel like you're getting some big amount, right? In other words, we'll give you 2,000. Then they mark the car up. You're buying 2,000, so you ain't really got nothing for it, really. Anyway, hi people, how y'all doing today? The player, honey, got him a Volvo. Get that big ass in there. Did y'all see the enormous size of that sweater he was wearing, child? That sweater looked like a goddamn gunny sack when he was in that car driving off that lot, child. Well, we wanted to see J. Wilson. We weren't really caring about the damn car. It's a car, but we wanted to see you getting in and out of it. Let's see with the ease of which you move them hips, girl, behind that steering wheel. That might be a primary thing, girl. It might be just you got too big for the car. I'm too big for my car. Too sexy for my car. I'm just too damn big. J. Wilson, why is it a bad thing for Phi Babe to buy herself a new car? And a bad idea that for Rihanna to buy herself a new car, and a bad idea for anybody to buy anything or to enjoy the fruits of their labors at all. Why is it always so bad when they do anything, girl? You actually making fun of that boy because he's staying in SRO. What, you want him to stay on the street? He promised us a video tonight. He's gonna come and talk about the car. Oh, he said, "Oh, it's just an old car." Trying to hide the fact that he bragging, right? Oh, it's just an old car. It'll do. Well, girl, up is there. It's just an old car. Why are you talking about it for, then, girl? It's okay to be happy because you got a new car, nigga. I'm trying to figure out how you gonna pay for it though. How are you gonna keep? We just gonna focus in on supposed to be this highfalutin job where you're getting $80,000 starting at the starting rate, right? Many of us are still mystified why you in your 50s would take on a 35-year mortgage. So we're still trying to figure that one out, right? And now you're going to add to the household expenses. J. Wilson, what's going to happen when they call you in that office like they have time and time and time again, girl, and explain to you that your services are no longer needed? What's going to happen? I got a contract. Okay. Girl, when they want you out, there's always a way to get you out, girl. They have the lawyers. All you have is that goddamn legal Zoom. All legal Zooms give you is a phone call, girl. And don't make the call too long. Ask your question and get the fuck off. That's what you get for $25 a month. Hi, people. Hi, Princess A. RNY TV. How y'all doing, Red 2? Baby, I knew this was coming. This nigga makes a big deal out of me buying myself a fan. He would rather me sit up here in the sweltering heat, girl, and burn up, nigga. Oh, you just jealous. Oh, you just jealous. Should I play back the video of him talking about a fan? I can't even buy a fan, nigga. I can't buy a statue for my home with the fruits of my own labor in my own apartment. This nigga has something to say about your silverware, girl. Everything, everything about you is good, right? And then you think you're gonna bring his black ass on here bragging about some goddamn Volvo, honey? Girl, we're concerned about how are you going to maintain the level of income you're at right now. It's one thing to say, my job pays me $80,000, I can afford a car, right? A reasonable person would say, I can afford one car. You know, I'm one person, right? Anyway, that's reasonable. But when you got this piece together income kind of thing, and you still drive, I guess now you're being free with this Uber because you lied about it. Remember, for 2 years, you said you no longer drove for Uber. Now you're saying this new car, oh, that's for the luxury, and then I'll use the other car for the Uber. Stupid ass. When you have pieced together your income like that, you got how many is that? Uber, the new fabulous career, and then you say you got something else to pay you $40 an hour. So you got 4 jobs at least, right? What happens to if one job fails? What about if the job that you claim is paying you $80,000 a year to do nothing worth talking about, right? What about if that job lets you go? Now you're back on Uber, and can you really make that mortgage and all the bills associated with the house? Can you really do that? HOA and all this stuff that you have to do, plus a new car, plus maintaining an old car, plus all the other bills that just regular people just have. Can you do all that if one of those jobs were to fail, like all the other ones have failed? Do you think that we are so stupid that we don't realize that a grown-ass man in his 50s bragging about 2 damn jobs in his whole lifetime, and then we see that he changes them constantly? He's had 5 jobs since he's been on here, right? Do you really believe that we think, let me see, that you have actually only had those 2 jobs? No, there's been many jobs all through it, J.Wilson. You take those pieces of paper, you con your way into someone's payroll, girl, and you just sit there until you're fired. And then you go get another one. That's why you're always bragging about, I can get a job. I can get a job. I can get a. Can you keep a job? Can you advance in a job? Can you become the supervisor in that same job? Can you advance? Vice president, person with 5 degrees, you expect them to be a vice president of something. You just starting a new career at 51 years old, 52, 53, right? You taking on a 35-year mortgage in your 50s. Girl, this is the time you're supposed to be downsizing because your children have went off to college, right? Because you have gotten a divorce and you are now a single person. This is the time for you to be downsizing, ho. And you're taking on a 35-year mortgage. Though you may not drive, who is the man that will risk his neck for brother man? Wilson. That cat Wilson is a bad mother. Shut your mouth. But I'm talking about Wilson, and he can dig it. He's a complicated man, but nobody says him but those employers. J.Wilson. Dun 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 dun. Who's the man called the shit? J.Wilson? Damn straight. J.Wilson, I guess you're gonna come on now and tell us why it's good for you to buy your Volvo, even though you've already made many comments and videos about how bad it is for all these ladies to buy themselves new cars. Why shouldn't they be able to buy a car with their money, right? But you would justify it and make it sound right for you to buy yours, always wrong for them to buy theirs. Then you want to kind of drop a dime about where you got the car. Like we all are hanging around in goddamn San Antonio, Texas. Nigga, we don't care about what car lot you got your car off of. It's just a car, girl. In 3-4 years, you got to trade it in again. Are you going to maintain both of them, girl? Why would you drive the stinking Lincoln if you have a new Volvo or new-ish Volvo, right? They used to have a name for people like you, J.Wilson. And it wasn't African American rich. I'll just say it like that. Mm-hmm. Hey Tim, sang it, baby, sang. Hi, Kanita, Kennethia. Mm-hmm. I remembered. See, Red too. How y'all doing? He over there complaining, bitching about what everybody else get, and then he go out there and get the same thing himself. But only he's dependent on 5 jobs piecemeal. So basically, you just wake up and just start putting in hours, right? Putting in, even when he tried to make this video coming off the lot, he had to hurry up because the phone was going off. Those were Uber rides. People needed to be picked up. So when someone is waiting outside of a building, they expect the service, right? If you can't provide the service, Uber will let you know, no, this is not working out, because when people call, there's a certain, we expect you to be there in a certain amount of time, right? So he had to get off the phone now and go and perform this in between jobs, right? Then when he's done the time with the Uber, he's always calculating how much money I got a coin from this. Oh, I got a coin from it. Oh, that ride was $5, $4.99. Ooh, plus a tip. They give me $1 tip. Ooh, that's $5. Ooh, I got that coin. Now let me go over here and get this other coin. And you're gonna take that bullshit and buy a car with it. I would imagine that the company, the car lot you got this car from, they're not really interested in all these bullshit hustles of yours, honey. They don't want to hear about how many subscribers you got, the lies about your subscribers on YouTube. Oh, by the way, Five Babes now says she has 35,000 subscribers. Would somebody ask her, please? This is a sidebar. Why can't you just show the number? Why can't you just show the number, girl? You're just like J.Wilson. He said he had 15,000, girl. He never showed the number. Never, until he lost them all. So it never could be proven. You ain't never had no 15. If you had 15,000, nigga, when they came back, they would come back to your the same people be watching you, right? So you had 15,000. When you're back on for a couple months, you should have 15,000 again. No, you got 3 or 4. That's all you ever had, honey. Anyway, it's a Volvo. Oh, nice. Volvo's a decent car from what I remember. Of course, he's going to make comments this evening asking me, where's my car? Where do you drive? I don't drive a car because, first of all, I live in San Francisco. The entire city is 7 by 7 miles. The subway runs right in front of my window. That's why. So in advance, that's where you're going to go, J.Wilson. I have no need of a car. I am a retired person. Where would I drive it to? Across the street? Where would I park it at? Would I pay $250 to park the damn thing? See, some people, J.Wilson, some people are a lot less shallow than you. They don't need to be, whatever. Let me not even get on that. It's not about me. It's about him. It's not about me. It's about you. Mm-hmm. I need to cut it out. Why we got to cut it out? Don't J.Wilson go on here, make 2 videos about my goddamn fan? I can't even. About my Julius Caesar bus. He got a Julius Caesar bus, bitch. What I supposed to be ashamed of my Julius Caesar bus? Oh, look, he's showing his chair. He's showing his chair. Oh, J.Wilson, you work on keeping that job, nigga. To me, if you got a new career and you are a focused person, I would think, and they're paying you $80,000 in San Antonio. Now you got to realize it's that's like $100,000, $150,000 outside of San Antonio in a regular big city, right? If you're getting that kind of money in San Antonio, girl, you should be focused on your job, on your career. It should be a career. You should not have time to be doing 4 other jobs at the same time. You're pedaling backwards, boy. Mm-hmm. That's one of the haters. It seems to me very strange that the only time my home phone rings is when I'm on YouTube. It seems to me that's very strange. They're gonna say, "Ooh, you next? Ooh, you jealous? Ooh, you jealous? Leave Pastor Wilson alone. Ooh, Pastor." Shut the fuck up, Pastor Wilson. Oh, you're always jealous of the pastor. You made those decisions. You made those certain decisions. Stop it, boy. You up underfoot. Why you up underfoot? Come here. Get your bum over here. Come here. Dinny bong dinny. In the ding dong ding. Diddy bong. Diddy bong. Hey, say hello. Hi. How you doing? What you doing? Hi, people. How you doing? Do you speak dog language? They in there, baby. Look right there. Look right in there. Look right there. There in there. You see him? I will never look. Star Child, I will never dance. What else going on? Oh, Tim, that's what many people do. They keep the paid off car as a backup vehicle. Okay, okay. Cosmetic girl. Okay, cosmetic girl. You probably have more than one car. Uncle Tim, that's what many people do. They keep the paid girl. They didn't want that piece of junk. They told him, "We'll give you $100, maybe $500, girl." He said, "Well, I put that much into it just in the last month." You don't need no 2 damn cars, child. You don't need no big ass motherfucking family house with a bunch of empty bedrooms on another floor, but you never go up to. Next, you're gonna have to start renting rooms again, child. But he got so many jobs that he wouldn't even be able to protect the property, child. He probably have to check into a hotel and rent the whole house out. Honey. Girl, it shouldn't take all that. Mm-mm. I was telling y'all before. You ask a man, you ask a grown man, why do you do this? I mean, why are you working all these? You get up, you go from one job to the next job. You don't even come home until midnight, and then you're trying to make 2-hour YouTube videos. Why are you doing that? And then the average man will say, "Well, I'm doing it for my family, or I'm doing this for my kids. My kids need things. That my kids are in private school, right? My little girl, she likes ballet, and I want to be able to provide it for her, right? I don't want my wife to work so hard because our children are young, and I want her to be there for the kids and to run the home. So I put in the hours, right? What are you doing, J. Wilson? Girl, you won't even take care of a damn dog. That's terrible. That's pitiful. He even makes fun of my damn dog. I said, "Well, girl, if you got all that space, why would you want a dog?" Oh, he's crowded in there. He's crowded, nigga. Do we have to go back to the trailer park, J. Wilson? He told me that my a 1 bedroom apartment is crowded in there, right? Because he don't know nothing about decorating or design or anything like that. He won't accept that I'm a decorator. At the same time, he said, "Why you got all that stuff?" Well, you just said that I just told you I was a decorator. So you're saying I'm not a decorator? If I'm not a decorator, then I wouldn't need anything to decorate with, right? I wouldn't be decorating. Correct? The fuck, make up your goddamn mind, child. Choose a struggle. I don't understand. I don't understand. It crowded in there. It crowded in there. Girl, if I was born in a goddamn sardine can, this thing, born and raised, and now as I've had more time to think about it, girl, and you said you moved out of the trailer at 5 years, although you made that up about 6 months into a little relationship, a little internet relationship where I've been paying attention. You said your brothers already left the house, is that right? So your brothers are in their 20s, right? So where they live? So that means your family was already in there for 15 years before you even moved into the goddamn trailer, right? So they'd already been there 15 years, right? And we don't know what the hell kind of shotgun piece of shit you moved into, girl. We ain't even discussed that. So just accept responsibility. Listen, I was born by the river in a little trailer. Lord, just like the river I've been running ever since. It's been a long time coming, but I got me a house. Oh, yes, I do. When I go to my brother, I say, brother, girl, are you so hard to get? When are you and Mark gonna have the conversation, baby? You say Mark is your husband, right? You've been saying that for what, a year and a half, something like that. When is Mark gonna pop the question? Girl, you say you're in a relationship. Well, it is the norm now. We have gay marriage, right? People who say that they are lovers, that they have a partner, they usually will condense because they want to be, they have a desire to be together around each other, right? You say, oh my God, he got his own house. He got his own house. Well, if you're lovers, you are such committed partners. Should you be thinking about marriage? Or shouldn't you think about selling one of your houses or his or whatever? Should you be thinking about selling one of them and taking all that equity to improve your own lifestyle? Or both of you move out of your house, he moves out of his house, and you get a better house because you are a committed couple. You are a pair. Do you really believe that boy wants to be in your face 24/7? Although he would barely see you because you're working 5 jobs and he's at the bar drinking half the time. But the point is, J.Wilson, if you're supposed to be in a relationship, I think it's time to start thinking about what's the next step in the relationship, right? I know you were born in that trailer. You probably slept underneath the coffee table or whatever, or they ain't no laundry room. Well, your laundry room would probably be outside. It would be a community laundry room, right? So you had to sleep in there, whatever. So you just like to have a lot of space to walk around. You don't give a fuck nothing's in the house, whatever. You just want to set space because you are traumatized. You're traumatized because you had a brother sleeping at your feet. You had a brother on this side of you. You had a brother on this side of you. Girl, where are the girls sleeping at? Because you only had 2 bedrooms, right? So God knows, maybe they got another bunk bed beside you, and then they're that close because you're in a single wide trailer, right? So we can understand the psychology of it. It's just your arrogance about it. Accept it. Yes, that's why. That's why I need to be here. Because every other house in my neighborhood, they all got kids. Got kids. They all married. Many times when the kids are old enough to go away, the parents still maintain the home. They have now grandkids. But my point is, there's people in there moving around, girl. And just you just got your ass parked up in there, girl. Why can't you go get you a lovely condo with a lot of gay people walking around, got a swimming pool, people laying naked around the pool and all that kind of stuff? Why don't you get what you need? Nobody's impressed by you, J.Wilson. Nobody. Who would be impressed by you, girl? And what is this desperation to always make others feel less than? Right? Since everything is supposed to be talked about. Let me see what else y'all say. If he don't make them damn runs on time, Uber gonna have a conversation with him. How many years his family was living in that trailer? J.Wilson's math isn't matting with how many years his family was in that trailer. Child, he came on and said he was born and raised in the trailer. Then he changed it to left when he was 5 years old because his sister got on here and said, we weren't living on the floor. Oh, we didn't even, we had our own bed. She got all mad, girl. And so then all of a sudden he just lived there for 5 years. Girl, please. He said his brothers had left. That means he's saying that only 4 of them were in the trailer at the same time, right? That means the brothers that got old enough to leave. I assume the brothers didn't leave at 5 or 6 years old. So they had to be adults when they left, right? Or near adults, at least 18, 19, 20 years old when they left the trailer, right? That means that they were born and raised there. I mean, that's at least 20 years right there. Who stays in the house that long, girl? I mean, in a trailer that long? What man? What grown ass man is going to raise 9 kids in a fucking little tin trailer? Right? Why don't you tell us your story, J.Wilson? Maybe it's time for you to really write a real book. Don't write this silly ass pamphlet, girl. They got 400 pamphlets about how to get in college, girl, from real professors. I don't know why you think they want it from you. Who put that damn thing up? Somebody put the back cover up. Was it last week? And he all his back cover is oh, he graduated from here and I got a degree from there and he got a degree. Girl, nobody give a fuck about your degree. What did the book say? Is it about what information you're passing along? Maybe it's time for you, J. Wilson, to write a real book. Why don't you purge yourself of all these insecurities, girl, so you can start becoming a regular human being, this thing. Not so plagued with all this shit where you always constantly have to come on here to try to put somebody else down. You should be encouraging people. Don't put your name on pastor. And you know some of them fools over there still calling that boy pastor. They think he's a real pastor. You didn't say that to pastor. They ain't saying pastor, they saying pastor. They believe in the hype and in the bullshit, right? You don't believe God. You wouldn't be out there bastardizing his name, child. It's just a way for you to get over. I went to school, study church finance. Yes, study the way to get people's money. That's what church finance is, honey. What else can we do? We done sold enough pies and chicken dinners and fish dinners and goddamn, we got prayer cloths and girl, what else can we do to get all their money? Oh, the kids got to go to school. The kids got, well, which kid is, you going to send all these kids to school with them putting an extra 20 in the plate? Girl, I'm sure he was amazed when they found out that churches didn't want him. You getting degrees and the people don't even want, they won't even give you a job or a chance. I would imagine that if I were in church since I was a baby, a pickaninny, by now I done got all these degrees in church finances and church music and church this and church that. I would think that some church now, I would have some kind of a church family, honey. I wouldn't be here in my 50s, girl, still not belonging, still a no man. I would have some kind of position in the church, girl. You should be at least a deacon by now. If you ain't be a deacon, go and volunteer. I've been volunteering as an usher, girl, for 20 years. 20 years, just came off the street. I want to do it. I want to serve. So I started serving. No desire to go farther than that. You should think that you would have some position in some church somewhere by the time you're in your 50s, right? Minister of, I don't know, child minister or something. Because apparently when they hire you for that music, you talk your way into that music department, right? Showing them the damn bogus ass certificates and things. When they actually hear you, when you sit your ass down and plug in that goddamn Hammond 3, when you plug in that goddamn organ, girl. J.Wilson, why don't you come in? Don't you have an organ in your house? You seem to have all of the other luxuries you said. Why can't you just plug in your music, honey, and play like Johnny Mac does? You can play the organ and sing and things like that. Why don't you do that? What are you so afraid of, honey? If that's supposed to be your forte, as you say. And why did the choir dissolve? The choir must have dissolved because either they didn't want to be bothered with your ass no more, or simply you had nowhere to sing. In other words, nobody was hiring you. Nobody was hiring you because you didn't sound good, right? You came into churches as an egomaniac. You're trying to run something, and you can't even present what you're advertising. You're a singer. They said, "Well, this is it." So most likely, you say you get $500 for playing. Most likely, you don't play more than once or twice, child. At 2 times, the congregation is going to stand up. Hold it, honey. Listen. I need you. You need me. We're all a part of God's body. Stand with me. Agree with me. We're all a part of God's body. It is his will that all the singers should sing, and all the musicians should know how to play an organ. Preferred one, why y'all over here bothering me? Preferred one said, I like J. Wilson. How? It is a great invest. That girl, J. Wilson's house is a standard track house. If you peel out the facade will be the front of the house, right? If you took that away on every house in that neighborhood, what you're going to see is they're all the same house. The changes are very slight. He's talking about he built a house, but they just built a whole goddamn slew of them, girl, in 6 months. There's nothing special about that house. The only thing I can say about that house, child, is it got high ceilings in the living room. That's it. So you think what do you mean it's a great investment? You can't assume it's a great investment. How many houses are underwater, honey? How many of these damn houses? Think about a couple years ago, girl. How many houses were underwater? In Texas, they're not going to get much higher than that. And what he's going to find is that he's not even getting how much money he's put into it while he lived there. You ain't getting nothing. If you get anything at all, it'd be enough for another down payment on another house. And then what you're going to take on in your 60s now? You're going to take on another 35-year mortgage? How you going to take on a 35-year mortgage, girl? You ain't going to be in the house 5 years. In 5 more years, the nigga be in the 60s. Whatever. I'm glad you enjoy it. It just offends me to see something so poorly treated. I mean, my apartment is a square box. You can make anything nice if you just take some time, right? But he's done nothing. He hung that goddamn, y'all know that picture on them steps it just disturbs me. That little wire thing, right? Then he's about this little junk that he's gotten from what do you call those places? Motel 6, Motel 8. When they throw the shit out, you could have just waited a couple of hours till the sun went down, and all that shit would have been out by the dumpster. Very easily could be. He called me a dumpster diver. Nigga, everything in your house could have been in the dumpster. This man on here bragging about he's got a $25 dining room set, not a dining room chair, not a dining room table. He got a whole goddamn dining room set for $20. What does that mean? Okay, so I think he had 5 chairs and one on the side. So that's 6 chairs. So girl, that he's got furniture that the chairs are only worth $3 a piece. He ain't getting no deal. He got what he paid for. Excuse me. I mean, whatever. I can't explain how I feel about interiors and stuff like that. I can't make you understand. But to me, it is ridiculous to sit up in that situation and never even occur to you, maybe I need to get myself a new couch. This stuff here, this is somebody's throwaway. Maybe I just get myself a couch or a lamp every once in a while or something. You seem like you would have done something to it by now. Oh, I'm gonna sell it. I'm gonna sell it. Well, girl, why'd you buy it? You in Texas? Ain't no big markup in no goddamn Texas, child. Hey, ding dong, dong dong dong. Greedy, giddy. Come on, get it, bum over here. Giddy. Giddy booty, booty. What you gonna do? Booty. There, be quiet. Anything else going on? Let me see. Y'all ain't gonna tell me. Y'all said, he's just jealous. He want a house. Well, I don't see it that way, honey. I don't. I would like to have me a fabulous ass New York style loft. If I was going to buy, if I were in a position where I could buy something, I would want me a big ass loft where my bed would be in one part of the place and the whole place would be my loft. That's what a single man wants. A single man lives, honey. I don't want no big ass goddamn family home where I don't even go up. My bedroom's on the first floor. I don't even go upstairs. I just want to say I own it. It's investment. You will learn the meaning of underwater, boy. Underwater. All that construction up there in damn Texas. The people get ready to buy a house. They're so cheap that they want to buy them a new house. Why are they going to go over there and buy yours? Yours is now 10 years old. Why buy a 10-year-old? I can buy a brand new house for fucking $150,000. Hey, soul sister number one, how you doing? I can just hear him now. Where you drive? Where your car? uh-uh. Y'all don't agree with me. That's why y'all just saying hi. That's all. Okay. He paid $25, but the retail value is more than he paid $25. $25 for the house. He paid something like 200. I very seriously that was more than $240,000, something like that, for a brand new house in Texas, right? So my point is, Texas is huge, right? Texas looks like Los Angeles, even in San Antonio. They have massive developments everywhere, right? So if you're gonna go to move to Texas, darlings, if you're gonna move to Texas, and you can buy a house for somewhere around 200,000. That's like the one of the lowest rates in the United States. If you can buy a brand new house built from the ground up, why go and pay this dude uh 250 for a house that you can get the same damn a brand new house for that, right? So isn't there going to be no profit because he's going to be competing with new construction, and Texas is just booming with these developments, right? So there's all these damn new houses people get to choose from, child. They ain't gonna offer. He ain't gonna make no whole lot of money on no used house. All he can do is sit there and pay that goddamn mortgage and hope it ain't no balloon payment involved. Mm-hmm. How did we get on the house? We supposed to be talking about that goddamn Volvo. Good and sturdy. It could hold a hefty girl. I bet he sat up in that goddamn seat, child. Oh, this is comfortable. Oh, this is comfortable. Honey, a Volvo is a sturdy car, right? It's for a large man. When I saw that boy's sweater in that goddamn van, I mean, he was just all over the place. Child, he looked like this. The areolas. I don't know what the weather is there, honey, but I'm already sweating in here, right? So I don't know what the wet Texas tends to be hot. So why is this man in here with his great big ass hot ass sweater, knit sweater, child, in the middle of where we at the beginning of October? He said it looked like a fucking old what you call them damn people? Look like a fucking Eskimo behind that wheel, honey. I don't understand the mind of J.Wilson. I know them damn Uber riders were calling though, honey. Get a move on it, goddamn it. If you want the $1.50 tip, sometimes I might get $2. Ooh, I got $2 tip. Uh-huh. Too thick, too soon. That sweater was too thick, too soon, baby. It's got to be hot in Texas if it's hot in San Francisco. I mean, damn. Ooh, baby. Y'all believe in global warming? Y'all see how places I look at my ass. I'm gonna start charging y'all when y'all get these peaks in my ass. And yes, I'm aware that a little stomach showed. Mm-hmm. Hold on 1 minute. Woo. Okay. Wilson said he gonna promise you to come back this evening. Talk about he been missing for 3 days, right? 4 days. Why? Because he ain't got no time off, child. He going from one job to the other. For me, if I would decide, okay, Timothy, they have cured you now. You no longer have HIV. You no longer have any of the diseases or the troubles or the medical conditions you have, and you are now able to go to work, right? And we got a job for you. So, in San Francisco, it'd have to be 100,000 here. You still just barely over poverty. Anyway, you're gonna give you $100,000. I think I would be focused like a laser on that job, right? And perfecting that job, taking work home, trying to get advancements on the job. After all, I'm in my 50s. Most of the workers are probably in their 30s, whatever. I'll be focused. Like somebody showed his where he works at. I don't know how they got a picture of where he works at. Was he bragging to somebody else to take a this honey? It's like they put him in a closet. This is a person who making $80,000 in San Antonio. I mean, in San Antonio, I imagine people making $50,000, $60,000 to be a normal job, right? He making $80,000 and they put him in a goddamn closet, no window. You got to open the doors to get light in there, girl. It didn't look like an executive uh office. I'll just say it like that, honey. Yes, lots of people work in cubicles and all that kind of stuff. And since we have no idea what he even does for a living, I mean, that's a pretty bad thing when you can't even say what you do for a living, girl. I think that's pretty pitiful. I think it's pretty pitiful. You have to hide what you do for a living, girl. If you are a nurse, you should be proud to say, "Yeah, I'm a nurse. I provide a valuable service." Right? What do you do? I mean, that's the first thing. If you go to a party, first thing they ask you, "What do you do?" I don't know. They docs. They go, what? The docs? What? They gonna find out where you work at? Girl, you should be able to take some pride in what you do if that is supposed to be your career, right? I'm in politics. I'm in real estate. He can't say nothing. All we know is you got to continually have all these damn different jobs, girl. For nothing. No kids, no wife, no husband, not even a dog. Tim and Chet, y'all willing to financially help a fellow YouTuber, Rico. Okay, somebody's asking a question here. Bubbles. Tim and Chat, y'all willing to financially help a fellow YouTuber, Rico. I like Rico. And maybe I have a better understanding of what he's talking about when he says benefits, right? I live on benefits. I have been for many years, and see, people will judge you because, oh, you get money from the government. They would love to have that money, child, for nothing. You think people want to? I pay 3,000 a month. I pay my whole 3,000. I want to pay my whole 3,000. I pay $75. We have the identical apartment. So what are you bragging about, honey? Right? I can understand people getting jealous of that kind of thing. Of course they do. But my point is, Rico is struggling with a disease, right? With HIV and AIDS, and he is not incorrect by saying that I thought that he would be able to have that in the DMV as well, though. But you can have housing, you can have medical. I've got better medical now than I've ever had on any job I've ever had. Dental, you can have that. They gave me my teeth. You can have benefits, honey. You can have benefits where they're paying all of your bills, right? You say, oh, it's SSI, it's whatever. If your rent ain't number $75, girl, you get SSI, you got a light bill, maybe you got a little bit of cable. It pays all your goddamn bills. You just got to hustle for a little extra. That's it. It's called supplemental security, honey. Supplemental income. It supplements your other income. But they're taking care of all you. Why wouldn't he get it? He should get it. We don't know if Rico will be here in 10 years, right? So if you can get benefits, baby, get them, right? Don't be jealous of what somebody else is getting. Don't worry about what they're getting. Get yours. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What God had for me, it is for me. Oh, I know that he'll provide. So yes, I would say to the question, Bubble said, let's cash app Rico. Let's cash app. Okay. I'm not going to tell you all my business as far as Rico goes, but frankly, I just ain't got a little money for right now. But yeah, you should help the kid. I mean, transferring to a different city is always going to be tough. If you support Rico, if you like Rico, and you feel, even though, I mean, the big thing with Rico is his drinking issue, right? So people will say, oh, I ain't gonna give, they do the same thing, people on the street. I ain't gonna give you no money. You just gonna, that's it. We've had it. Nope, no more, baby. Stop licking my ass. Woo! I gotta figure out a way y'all can cash at me every time you look at this beautiful booty. Get your ass in there. You ding dong dong. Diddy bong. I tried to keep him out. He likes to be underfoot with his daddy. Okay. That's what support is, baby. You like him. You think you want to help him. You understand what it's like to move to a different city. What we have to acknowledge is that somehow or other, he is in some sort of housing going there, right? So it's not like he just went there stupid. He went there knowing where he was going to go, right? We already know that Rico is willing to work. I don't know if it's going to be a detriment or not, because many times they want you to be disabled. I qualified for that a long time ago, but it depends on what you want to do. But if he's in New York, he still needs to eat, and unfortunately, he does have vices. He's a young guy. I don't know. It's a personal thing. You want to give somebody, just give to him. Don't worry about who's going to see you giving. Don't worry about nothing, honey. I like you. You entertain me. Sure, I'll help you out. So it's good to help people out. It is better to give than to receive, right? Don't worry about what he does with the money, because he ain't going to drink it all up, honey. Some of it's going to make it into his stomach, you know. But it kills me the way people want to dog people out who are on a lower level than them. They supposed to be these captains and kings and queens of society, right? They got these big houses and all of that, and so they want to constantly be stepping on people who are not doing as well, or people who have issues, you know. So yeah, y'all want to, if Rico needs help, help him. You'll feel better about it, you know. J.Wilson is a jack of all trades and master of none. He can't be the master of none. He can't stay focused, honey. You would think that his new career, we would have heard something about it. We ain't gonna hear, oh no, are they gonna dox? J.Wilson. What exactly was accomplished when you're saying that Tracy doxed you? What did she dox, J.Wilson? She found out that you no longer work there. So what are you afraid of? Us finding out that you no longer work at the places you say you work at? Is that it? Listen, pastor, preacher man, God did not give you the spirit of fear, right? That didn't come from God, honey. That's all wrapped up in your own ridiculous ego. And if somebody is really dedicated to finding out about you, girl, it ain't that hard, child. It don't take number one person in your office say, he works here. One motherfucker, because of your arrogant, bossy ass personality, all it's going to take, child, is one person on your job. You know, you bragged about YouTube. He works here. I'll take a picture of his ass at the water cooler. I know he's gonna take up half the room when he's at the water cooler. You know, he's gotten huge. Oh, look at that sweat. I can imagine that boy bundled up in a goddamn hot ass sweater. It's got to be hotter in Texas. All right. Rico needs financial help because he's homeless. It's the truth. He does. Rico's a decent guy. Yeah, we all wish he didn't drink, you know. But that doesn't make him some kind of monster because he drinks. If you watch him, you should feel some compassion for younger people, right? And he will get on his feet. But yes, he should be getting the benefits that are available to him. There's no shame in that, honey. There isn't. He's proven time and time and time again that he is willing to work. There may become a time when he's not able to work. And he needs to have a lot of things in place when that time comes, right? Now, I can come on here and talk to you guys for an hour. You want to call that work, sit on my ass in front of a computer. But as far as me getting up and going out and working somewhere 8 hours a day, I couldn't do it. There's no way. My energy level would not allow me. Plus, I'm 63 years old. So, but even so, there's certain medical things that are going to come up. There are issues that are going to come up. You're not going to have the same amount of energy. And at some point, you will not be able to work. Well, you can't just leave work one day and then just go in and get a service provided to you. They make fun of my Section 8. It took me 10 years. 10 years waiting for Section 8. So don't think you can go there and just pick up services like that, right? 10 years. To get this apartment, I sat on a waiting list for 3.5 years. That's damn near 15 years. It took me just to get to where I'm at, right? So yes, he should be applying for every service because eventually he will need them. You don't like it? Just stay out of people's business then. Don't worry about what the fuck he gets. You're going to need some stuff too. And your mama going to need some stuff. Your daddy, everybody in your family going to need some kind of assistance at some point. Particularly as you get, I'm watching a movie right now with, who Who is these people? Wait a minute. It's about these three old guys on Netflix. I was just watching just before I came on here. And apparently their pension was stolen. And so they decided to rob a bank. Anybody know the name of that? It's with Morgan Freeman. And they're all big actors, but they're all old as hell, right? They lose their pension. They decided to rob this bank. That's as far as I got in that story, whatever. But it was a real big deal when they lost their pension, child. This is what they were living on. One of them was getting a foreclosed on his house. Child, life is real. So, Rico, get all the help you can get, man. Hopefully you'll get on your feet there. The thing about it, Rico, is that a rolling stone, they say, a rolling stone gathers no moss. So the big part of the situation is you got to stay planted somewhere. You can't be globetrotting. Now, maybe New York will be his city. We don't know. But as a young person, you can do that. When I was young, I picked up and moved to New York City. I think I was 25 then. You can pick up. When I was 19, I picked up, didn't know nobody in California and drove all the way to California, right? Moved to Las Vegas. You can do that when you're young, right? But at some point, you need to plant yourself somewhere because nothing's going to happen unless you're secure in where you're at. I've been in San Francisco for over 30 years, right? And when the time came that I actually needed to use the services that were available to me for 20 years before that, people were getting those kind of services before that. I chose to be in the streets, you know. But there will come a time, honey, and you need to get yourself set up. Woo, that was all jumbled. Mm-hmm. If you like Rico, it's okay to support somebody you like, honey, whatever they're going through. I'm doing this because I like you. It ain't no group thing. Charles, hi, Charles Dodson. Hey, Tim in chat. Yes, Texas is huge. I live in Houston, and there is construction everywhere. Yes. And when you want to go buy you a house, Charles Dawson, if you choose to do that, you more than likely, unless you just had a thing for these character houses, these old houses, 100 years old, but it's a good possibility that you just buy a brand new house. If you can get it for less than $200,000, why not? Why you got to go over here and buy J.Wilson? How you think you're going to get all these huge returns on it? No, you're just going to maintain, basically sell it for what you bought it for. Because you can't be somewhere. It ain't like these old people who have been in their house for 30 years and they sell it and they get some money to put them in a retirement home or something like that, right? He ain't got no equity. He's just now getting the house. Oh, somebody cashed at me. Thank you, Jasmine Rose. I appreciate you. Thank you. Yeah, he ain't gonna get no equity. What equity? He just moved in there. No equity. 35-year mortgage. Child, please. You be happy. You be lucky to break even. You better hope that ass is not underwater whenever, because the economy goes and flows, you know. You ain't gonna be in there no amount of time. I think an old person, they might have went through some of these ebbs and flows. House was very valuable at one point, then the value slipped, then the value went up, value slipped, value went up, and you want to sell when it's high, right? But he ain't been in there no time. He ain't been in there for five. What he just said? Oh, I've been in my home 7 years, like seven whole nights, and not a word from the foreclosure. 7 whole days. 7 years. That ain't no goddamn equity, child. Please. If you lived in California, yeah, you could become a millionaire, but you have to move out of California because if you sold it for a high price, you're gonna have to pay a price to get it somewhere else, right? So he's just kidding himself. Yeah, go ahead and fix your house up if you're gonna be there, J.Wilson. We can see that you're never gonna have no live-in, so you'll be there by yourself. I think that Mark would have popped a question by now. And who's to say that Mark couldn't just move into your house and then he rent his house? He could own property. He could have 4 or 5 properties, child. Right? Yeah, I mean, he gotta give up his house. Shit, I'm sure he could rent it for whatever he's paying for a mortgage. Why not? Because he ain't gonna live with your ass, J.Wilson. He don't be sitting there talking to your ass all the time. He can maybe deal with you an hour or 2 a week. You seem like you go over his house. You got to always turn the camera on to prove that you're over his house. I'm still welcome here. Well, as far as we know, that's your girlfriend now. Right? You're at your friend's house. Most gay men, a lot of their friends, it started off having a sexual relationship, and now it's just you are my friend. I never knew it till then. My friend, $75. I thought you paid 400, Unc. No, Lisa, I can't tell you how much I pay. It's not. Hey, I wish it was 75. I wouldn't be mad if it was 75, honey. No, I don't pay 75, and I don't pay 400 either. You can't tell your business on here, though, baby. But all they gonna do is make people mad that they hate you. Of course they hate you. Shit, they breaking their back to pay 2,000 or 3,000, and you living in the same condition, and you ain't paying nothing. They don't understand your condition. Do they want this age? Is what I'm trying to figure out. People always criticizing somebody for what benefits they get. Do they want the burdens that they carry? What means they would need such benefits? Do you really want AIDS? Is that what you want? Right? I hope that guy gets everything coming to him. Everything, honey. The U.S. government can afford it. All these people that come on here, oh, I'm a taxpayer. Took his shit from the white folks, honey. I'm a taxpayer. That for years and years and years and years. That was the white people's argument. So now they're gonna take that. Oh, I'm a taxpayer. I'm a taxpayer. How much tax, girls? Put it up on the window. Then when you look at it, nigga. What did you pay for? You couldn't buy bug spray, girl, for your own goddamn dwelling with how much you pay for taxes. So stop saying that you a taxpayer. Therefore, you can talk shit about everybody. Everybody gets any kind of benefit until it happens to you. Until it happens to you and you lined up at the Social Security office. Give me my money. Oh, Nicole likes you, Charles Dawson. And it's addiction. Well, maybe he won't be a drug addict all his life. I was. Baby, Rico ain't shit compared to what I was in my 20s. I was shooting up meth 4 times a day in his age. Fucking everything that moved. That don't mean that's not my life. I ain't no drug addict. I ain't no drug addict because I don't do drugs. Hi, Michelle, Holly. Right. We want to encourage all people, honey. I don't know where these black people got so goddamn bougie. And this whole YouTube thing is all about who's doing better than somebody else. What difference does it make, child? What difference does it make where you live? Who gives a damn where you live? Only you gonna live there. They ain't cutting no checks for your payments, right? So you want to drive a nice car? Buy a car because you want a car, girl. Don't buy a car to try to impress. Oh, you may not drive that great big Cadillac, diamond in the back, sunroof top, digging the scene. With that gangster lean. Tim, I am single and love living alone in my very decent apartment in a nice part of the city. I have no interest in buying a house at this page. No, I agree totally. Maybe if you got in a relationship and your husband had 2 kids, you might then want more space. But it would be, I believe, Charles Dawson, because you needed more space because there are people there, right? So let that man go ahead and work himself. Work your ass to the bone, baby. And every time there's a glitch in all these pieced together incomes you have, child, every time there's a glitch, you're going to be in the struggle again. So you want to take on another vehicle, another payment, another insurance, more maintenance for the old car. You want to maintain both of them, child? Go ahead and do it. Do it, do it, do it, do it, yeah. Do it, baby. Do it, yeah. Nice and easy. Come on and pay me. You got me hungry for that cash. Sweet as a honey, yeah. Ooh, how you love me, baby. Uh-huh. Nope, I had no desire. If somebody cash at me $10,000 right now, the last thing on my mind would be go out and buy a car. It's my prerogative. I can do what I want to do. It's my prerogative. Now, if I live in Texas, where I had to drive an hour and a half to go to work, then yes, I would have to have a car, right? I ain't never been to Texas, but I know what it's like. It's like LA. One metropolis after another, child. And Indiana, where I'm from, everybody who was an adult had a car. Here, I don't know too many people have a car. I got one friend that actually keeps a car. And that's because he works in Oakland and lives in San Francisco. But other than that, I don't know a car. That's an unnecessary expense. A content creator shouldn't be in a shelter. Bubbles, you riding hard for your baby. That's right. Well, it's the 22nd to be here in a minute. Then maybe he'll get a little help. But that's not really the main thing. The main thing is he get in touch with whatever services he can get in touch with. If Rico can get in an apartment, and they do it in New York City as well, but it takes time. Is what I'm saying, right? It takes time. When I signed up for this place, 3.5 years it took me to get in here, and I already had a Section 8 voucher when I applied for the place, but that didn't really help me. I still had to wait for an apartment, right? Now, when you have a new complex, brand new complex, and maybe you got 100 units, then 100 people can get in there. You can go and apply and just move into the apartment. But when the apartment is already established and the apartments are already filled, you got to wait for one person to move out, right? So it takes a while. So, but if he gets hooked up to the right services, it could happen quicker, because there's not only Section 8. There's several agencies that will provide housing for people with disabilities. He would qualify for that, right? I ain't gonna list off the names. People are so messy. Whatever I'm saying right now, it'll be in the news tonight, child. Don't nobody give a fuck. My toilet still flushes like everybody else's, child. One thing Rico should do is, and then if Rico ever gets serious, he could very easily get himself into a drug program. That would take care of all of his problems. It would give him a place to stay. It would give him a place to be sober. And as he's coming out of the program, like for instance, me, when I left Vacaville State Prison, I didn't trust myself because of my past experiences. I had this drug program pick me up at the door, right? At Vacaville, Walden House. They took me right to Walden House. And I was only there for like 90 days, I believe. In the time that I was there, I applied for the second place. It's called transitional housing, right? In transitional housing, which were recovering addicts, alcoholics, people in recovery who were in these beautiful houses, and there were like 4 people to a flat. So if the house had 2 flats, then there would be a total of 8 people, 4 people to a flat, right? I was in there for 4.5 years. And the thing is, while you're there, you're preparing for the next thing, right? So I just stayed in the system. So when I left Baker Places, I had applied while I was actually I applied when I was in Walden House for Section 8 housing, right? By the time I got through with Baker Places, there was a joint venture between Section 8 and the drug program. I mean, the transitional housing program, right? So while I was there, I received a voucher for a Section 8 voucher, right? And this voucher told me that my rent was going to be established by whatever my income was. In other words, if I turned off this thing and I turned off and I had no Social Security, I would pay 0 rent, right? So it is security, because no matter what you make for the rest of your life, I think when they wrote the laws, they were assuming that people would live that long with HIV, AIDS, but your rent would always be established by how much money you're making. It's a perfect situation, right? So when I left there, I got this studio apartment, and my studio apartment and this apartment was the same price. Why? Because it is established by how much money I make, right? By my income. Now there are people with families, women, single mothers with families. They're not all in projects. Some of them are in homes or houses, whatever, because that fits the need. But their rent is no different than it is in a studio or a one-bedroom apartment or home, wherever they live. It's always the same. It's always established by their income. So it's a beautiful situation. So yes, he needs to get his ass lined up with with that situation. Because even if he does decide, because he's a young guy, maybe he's still relatively healthy, and he wants to work, it still would be 30% of his income. So even on his job is a very reasonable deal for your rent to fluctuate with how much your income is. If he leaves, stops working, and he goes to just living on SSI, then the rent drops, so it's still livable. So your housing is secure. Your housing is secure. If you drop to zero income, you're still in your apartment. You see, it's a beautiful situation. So why do people on here, they got to come on here bragging? Oh, I paid the whole 4,000. I paid how many jobs you work? Oh, I took on a little extra hours here and an extra. I'm a proud American. I'm a taxpayer. You took all that shit from white people, child, because that's what they used to use to talk about people who are poor. Being a content creator seriously, but people choose how serious they want to be about their own well-being. Right. Yeah, well, he's made some decisions. He's hooked up with something in order for him to get to New York City with already housing there. I mean, I'm sure it's probably temporary, but if it's temporary, then there's probably systems in place for the next step for him. He probably got to jump through a few hoops. The whole goal is to get him into a situation like this, but it is a destination, right? Eventually you will get there, but you got to play the game, right? So hopefully he'll be able to control his drinking, at least when he's dealing with officials or people, right? So that he will show up where he needs to show up. He will get the documentation he needs, right? He will get set up with the medical facilities that he needs, correct? Yeah, he had a bad mouth on him. I mean, this YouTube, it creates a bad mouth, right? What 35-year mortgage? That's what J.Wilson got, ain't it? Ain't that standard? He ain't got no 15-year mortgage. It's a 35-year mortgage, child. That means he going in there in his 50s to get he gonna pay a more. Well, what equity is he gonna take out of that child? He said he's been there 7 years, like it's some big deal. You know, he better hope that market stays okay in Texas. People are moving there all the time, child. There's deals to be had. I don't believe he's gonna walk out of the way with nothing. Maybe he'll come out with the same down payment he put on it. You haven't seen Mark in months. What happened to Mark? Mark is tired of that shit, child. He said, I'm drunk. I'm drunk. I don't be bothered. Give me a log. It ain't my fault I'm the only person you can talk to. I doubt they even having sex anymore, child. That's his girlfriend. Sister girl. What else is going on? Apartment living for single people. I mean, that's what lives in there, single people. You get the best of both worlds, luxury and cheap at the same time. You got the best of both worlds, luxury and cheap at the same time. God gives us our talents. Hey, we can make anything nice. You can make your project beautiful. Matter of fact, hell, most projects, they're townhouses, right? Why? Because you got kids. Most of them are single mothers. But you can make if you have an eye or you have taste, style, it doesn't make a difference about the shell. Most new places they're just empty boxes. I prefer an empty box myself, rather than a lot of character, a lot of old type stuff. I don't really like that look. I like old things, but new architecture. But you can make anywhere nice. And I used to experiment with my bedroom when I was a little pickaninny. Rest in peace, Colin Powell. My favorite Republican, Colin Powell. Even when he was with Bush, I always liked Colin Powell. He always was a reasonable, thoughtful man. I always respected him. I would say that he was my favorite Republican. They ain't like that now. Them Republicans are not trying to think. They're following the lead of somebody like Donald Trump, flashy old car salesman. That party has changed. They need some more Colin Powells back in office to make reasonable, rational decisions and run this country properly. Trump has turned it into a clown show. '84. I mean, that's a full lifespan, though. He got taken out by COVID, but '84 is an old man. He's lived his whole life. He's had an extraordinary life since he was a teenager. You know, he just kept it going up, 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 up. He's a great personality too. Condoleezza Rice. There's the other one. So Bush was that. Apparently, he did make an effort to integrate the White House. I would say that that's one thing that he did, more so than anybody up until that time. 15, 20, 30-year mortgage. We purchased a home last year and we already have equity. The market is hot. Chan, SC, where you at though? The market is hot as hell here. The market in San Francisco is burning up, honey. So I would see a person here could probably buy a house and sell it 5 years later. I'm worried about Texas. I don't know if that's true in Texas, honey. 20, 30. So he got a 30-year mortgage instead of 35 years. Maybe the church helping him with the down payment. I don't know. Camilla. I love Camilla. I love all of the competent people, confident, thoughtful people. All those years they kept us suppressed, oppressed, wasted talents. Every politician is a war criminal. Every politician is a war criminal. Okay. Nothing can stop if these people put Donald Trump in office again, this place needs an enema. This whole damn country, this is a sick place. If after all the scandals that man, he's been in scandals from the day he took office, right? I just watched the Comey movie. Y'all see that? He has been running that place like a gangster since he's been in office. If they would put him back in there, he has caused an insurrection on the damn White House. He's had senators attacked with goddamn poles, but they're going to stab him in their goddamn throat. They're chanting, hang Mike Pence, his vice president, who has been his employed kiss ass the whole time he's been there. He flipped on him because he wanted to come in there and just take the White House, take the damn United States government. And you telling me that you think he has a chance of winning shit? I would make him I would make him president of the dog catchers. Donald Trump is a piece of shit. He needs to go somewhere and lay down. Just retire, dude. Go off in one of these exotic places you say you own and sit your ass down and tell your stories with your spin. That's what he needs to do. I'm amazed that he's still news. I would say to the media, don't make him too much news, honey. That's what he thrives on. That's what put him in office the first time. All that free publicity. This man had been impeached twice. Come on, people. He didn't call police officers to kill themselves. He done gave the whole damn White House COVID and still got these fools running talking about they ain't getting no shots. Maybe some of them will see that, well, if it can kill Colin Powell, maybe I should reconsider. Because he had both and still it's deadly. It's deadly disease. They were all their Their rights. So my right to say no, my right to kill myself and all my kids and all my grandkids is my right. Stupid ass people. Uh, mhm. Okay. Oh, y'all having the political arguments. I got to get caught up. Mhm. Yep, we all got an opinion. All right, beautiful darlings. Thank y'all for coming in. We were waiting to hear this spin with J. Wilson tonight. He's going to tell you how wonderful it is that he got a new car, and then maybe he'll explain again why it's bad that 5 months to get a car, and it's bad that Brianna Simone get a car, but it's good when he gets one. Maybe we'll hear that spin, child. It's almost comical. If it weren't so sad, it'd be comical. All right, I don't want to interrupt you guys' conversation, but I got to go. Later, people.